aka GreyElephant.
And Carmen Norris, FemElephant.
Well, here we are, fresh off of our last scenario with Bring and Doom.
And now we are venturing into the poison pill.
And this time we're after PILLBUG PODIKER.
So let's get it.
Alright, so here we are. We are doing the poison pill. This is the second scenario of the Perils of the Lost Coast. And it says here that during this scenario that we have to add 2 to our checks to acquire allies. So it seems like allies are going to be a little rough to come by. So it required also for us to put for our 4 locations. We have the town square, which says at this location you may discard a card from your hand to explore during your turn. This card may not be recharged. We also have the village house, which says at this location, when attempting a check to acquire an ally, you may instead recharge a card to automatically acquire the ally. Well, that's good because it seems like it's going to be hard to get allies. At least the village house, we could discard cards to just automatically get them. Now, Carmen, you have the city gate and the general story. You want to read those?
A city gate. If you fail a combat check, shuffle a random monster from the box into the location deck.
Well, that's me. I'm going to start there because I'm not worried about failing.
I don't want to start there. Yeah. Okay. Then we close it by summoning and defeating a bandit henchman. Then we have the general store. And here, if you encounter anything other than an armor, an item, or a weapon, after the exploration, you may explore again.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's nice.
But I know I'm definitely going to start in the city gate, and we know that you work better by yourself. So I'll let you pick yours. I just think because I fight monsters better than you, I'll start there. I have a less likely chance that I'll fail.
I'm thinking I'll start here because there's only one monster, so I kind of like those odds.
Well, and I also like the fact that there are 3 allies in that, and you can discard cards to acquire them. So there could be some pretty groovy allies in there.
Yeah, I could use a better ally. I've got one that pretty much does the same thing I do. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay. Well, I'm going to draw my 4 cards. Oh, and just real quick, I did go ahead and take one of the viewers' advice. He had said that I should not have taken the potion of fortitude, that I should have kept the amulet of the mighty fists instead. And I took that advice, so I did go ahead and keep the amulet of the mighty fists, and I put the potion of fortitude back. So that's why you'll see that I do have the amulet of the mighty fists.
Oh.
Oh no, bad draw.
No weapons.
Okay. Let's try to slide those down. Carmen always draws 5. So, okay. Well, let's see what your blessing is. A blessing of IOMEDAE. It says, discard this card to add 2 dice to a non-combat charisma check.
I just read it IOMEDAE as soon as I see it.
Yeah, we'll say IOMEDAE. Okay, let's see what you get.
Blessing of TORAG.
Okay. Well, the Blessing of TORAG says that it would require a Strength 4 or Divine 5 to acquire. And if you do get this, it says discard this card to add 2 dice to a non-combat strength check. Well, that's pretty cool. So, what's your... I don't think you have any Divine, do you?
No, but I do have D8 for strength.
Oh.
So...
Well, that's a pretty good chance, right?
I can roll my dreaded D8
that's
for that.
a 10. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find the D8.
That's right here.
Is that it? There we go. Hey, you
Got
it! Great work, hon. So, you'll acquire that. Now, that's going to give you too many cards, so you might as well use something to explore again. You got allies and blessings of the gods. I think you can use those to explore, right?
No, I can just use this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know how often you're going to even need that, are you? I mean, a non-combat strength test?
Yeah.
You know, but... Yeah, I don't know. Does it mimic the card up here too, though, if you wanted it to?
No.
No? Huh. So what are you thinking?
Well, it says if the top card of the Blessings discard pile matches this card, recharge it instead.
But you still get to add 1 die to a check regardless, right?
Yeah.
Well, why would you just discard it instead of a Blessing of the Gods? Was you going to use this to explore?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying it gives you a better chance.
I don't know.
It just doesn't make much sense, that's all.
I like the blessing of the gods because I like the fact that it changes due to...
I understand.
Okay. So, let's see what I got next.
Ooh, what do we got here? A heavy crossbow. Ooh, and look at this. A heavy crossbow and check to acquire is dexterity ranged. Okay, this is a big deal. For your combat check, reveal this card to roll your dexterity or ranged die plus a 1d10.
Oh, I
Carmen,
need that.
That is a big deal.
I need that.
If you are...
The weapons I have only add a d4, so...
It also says that if you're proficient with weapons, you may discard this card to add 1d4 to a combat check at another location.
Okay.
So that sounds like you could, like, if I was here, but you're not proficient with weapons,
not
are
yet,
you?
No.
That stinks. Well, anyways, your dexterity's pretty high, but you don't have range, do you?
No.
Well, what's your dexterity, a d12?
Uh-huh.
Well, there's that. So you'd have to at least roll a 7.
Ooh. Recharge this card to add a d6 to your non-combat dexterity check.
Yes. I think it's a pretty neat weapon. I wouldn't pass that up.
I need that. I want that really bad.
Oh, I want that.
Wow. I have to have this heavy crossbow. It's perfect for me. Works off dexterity like my other weapons. And it's a d10 that it adds instead of a d4 like my other weapons.
I would have tried because this is like the first real weapon we've really come across, you know?
I do really need that. I need to roll a 7.
You got the potential of an 18. It's pretty good odds. You can do this, Carmen. Oh, that seems like overkill. I'd hate to see you do that.
I would be so mad if I don't get it.
If you're going to be that upset, but that's 2 blessing of the gods that's going to be out of your deck. And, I mean, we just did start.
Well, it's not 2 because I gained that one.
Alright. Oh, that's true. So you do have still another one. Okay, that's up to you.
I'm going to do it.
Okay, so that adds an additional d12?
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's that then. Man, I don't think you're going to miss this.
I want that crossbow.
I can tell. I hope you get it. And you did. Congratulations.
Oh yeah, I got a heavy crossbow, baby. Gotten it without the blessing. Oh well.
Well, I think you should probably stop.
And now I have a weapon. Yay!
Yes, you do. Pretty decent weapon, too.
I'm done.
Okay, go ahead and draw up. And I'll go ahead and flip my card. Which is the same thing, another blessing of IOMEDAE. So let's see what
I just know when I read like Greek, I always just read it real easy, like IOMEDAE. If I'm reading it right or not, I don't know.
Well, I turned up a spyglass, and my spyglass requires a wisdom perception 4. My wisdom is a d4, and I have no perception, so, well, I'd have to roll a 4 with a 4. So,
come on, you can do it.
and I rolled a 1.
So, that was neat.
Yeah, oh well,
okay.
No big deal. I'm not going to do anything, so I'm going to go ahead and flip you. I'm going to flip you. Woof!
See, what's next?
Hey, what's that? Hey, that's the promo card.
Oh, he's an ally.
Yeah, it's the promo card that we got from Gen Con. Okay, this says he takes a Charisma Diplomacy Divine 7. Ooh, I don't think you can even do that, can you? You would have been able to with that one guy that you...
Yeah, I already used him.
Okay, well, it says recharge this card to add 3 with the fire trait to a combat check.
That would have been nice.
Holy moly! And it says bury this card to recharge...
Oh, wait a minute.
What?
When attempting a check to acquire an ally, you may instead recharge a card to automatically acquire it.
I would do that.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't pass that up at all. I mean, that is awesome. Ooh, I wouldn't do your Thieves' Tools. I'd hang on to those just in case.
I'm thinking I'll do my...
You don't need both of them.
Yeah, I'll
you
do
got
my
bracers and magic armor. Wow, that is really cool. That's the first promo card. We've got 2 of them.
Mine.
POOG. All right, cool. So you gonna go ahead and stop there then?
Uh-huh.
I probably would too. Okay. Another blessing of IOMEDAE, which is 3 in a row. Uh-oh. Skeleton Horde. It says here, each character at an open location summons and encounters an ancient skeleton henchman. Banish this card. So this card goes away, but you and I get A skeleton henchman.
Summons and encounters. Okay.
Yeah. So I think you could still evade it.
I can evade it.
And then it just goes away. It won't stay there. So this is a one-shot thing that they pop in and then they just go away.
Oh, well then, no point in.
I believe that that's the case.
If he's not going to get shuffled back in if I evade it, then yeah.
I would guess that that's what. We're a bit confused on this one because the barrier that I came across. It's easy for me to just defeat my skeleton, but what happens when Carmen fights hers, or if she decides to evade? Where does the skeleton go?
Yeah, I mean, I remember when we came across the skeleton horde before, I was the one that came across the barrier. So I'm not sure if that changes how things are run. You know, we had someone mention in the comments, hey, you can just evade the skeleton and it goes back in the box because it was summoned. But I don't really remember what the instructions say about that at this point, and so I'm not sure if we handled this right.
Or if it even really mattered. Piercing or slashing. So regardless, he is going to be a check 11 for me.
What does your amulet do?
Well, that will add a 1d4 to my... So basically, I just roll a d4 and a d10, and that would keep him at an 8. But the thing about it is, I actually have better chance with either my long spear because I get to re-roll if I miss with the long spear. My long sword, I mean, you figure I get to add a d8. It's only adding +3, so okay. So I'm a normal d10, and then remember I have a +3 regardless. So technically, I just have to roll an 8. And we can just ignore that +3. It doesn't matter.
Right.
So I am going to go ahead, I think, and use... Thinking about using the long spear because I get to re-roll if I miss. I could actually use this holy water and kill it, but I don't want to do that because I'm not really scared of this ancient skeleton.
Yeah, you'll come up with something scarier later.
Yeah, probably. Well, this would give me an 18 potential, and all I need is an 8. I don't know. And then I get to re-roll if I miss.
Yeah, you'll get him.
That's what I'm thinking. 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's all I needed. So that was enough to get him. So my ancient skeleton is gone.
Okay.
And I do not have to get rid of my long spear either.
I'm going to go.
Okay. So I believe this ancient skeleton just goes away if you evaded
him.
That's what somebody said. That was another suggestion that somebody gave us on the after they saw our first videos.
Yeah.
That Marisol can evade and the skeleton would go away. I guess my question is, does that mean the skeleton would be shuffled into there? I don't think that would be the case. I think
because
it actually
he was summoned.
Right, because he was summoned and then he just goes away after the encounter. So, all right, well, that's it for me. So here we go. A blessing of PHARASMA. This would discard this card to add 2 dice to a check when playing a spell.
Ooh, another ally.
Look at you rolling in the allies. Oh my gosh. And it's a saber-toothed tiger. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. Well, he takes a wisdom survival 8. But once again, you can go ahead and take advantage of discarding or recharging a card to just acquire him. You are going to have such neat allies at the end of this. This is so cool. It says, recharge this card to add 1d6 to your combat check. Discard this card to explore your location. I really want a tiger. I mean, I really want a tiger.
I like this guy better than the tiger. But...
Yes, but look, for me, can you get a tiger for me? Please.
Well, I'm trying to decide what to discard. I mean, discharge. Recharge.
Recharge.
I'm trying to
decide.
Well,
your wisdom survival is probably pretty low, if nothing, right?
Yeah.
You can't get it with that?
No.
I just want the tiger just because I think it's cool to strut around with a tiger.
Yeah, I better not need my thieves' tools next.
I feel like I'd be like the Mike Tyson of Pathfinder. Look on me, a tiger. So, all right. Let's. You're all done?
All done.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and flip my card, which is a Blessing of Gorum. And this says that discard this card to add 2 dice to a strength-based combat check. Well, that's great because, well, the sad part is, unfortunately, I don't have any blessings to be able to do anything with. So let's go ahead and we'll flip my card here. Oh! Oh, wow! So I got a longsword +1. Okay, +1. What does that mean? So for your combat check, reveal this card to roll your strength or melee die plus 1d8 plus 1. You may additionally discard this card to add another 1d6. If you aren't proficient in weapons, the difficulty is increased by 4. Well, I am proficient. Okay, now what's neat is that this longsword also says that it's magic. So I'm guessing that if I had this equipped, and if I fight something that would require magic for me to defeat it, that this longsword would in fact do that. So I don't want to lose this. I really, really, really want this longsword. So I roll a d10 for my strength melee, and I have nothing that I could possibly add at all here, and this really stinks. Now, Carmen does have the blessing of TORAG that she could possibly give to me, and if she does, then I could actually add 2 more dice to this. Well, this is kind of a big deal to me because I really need better weapons. I feel like I'm never getting anything good out of every search and item I come across. This is the one first great thing that's come across for me.
That's true, but I think you could roll for it.
Look, you got plenty of other blessings.
But I don't have plenty of other blessings. I already discarded one.
That's crap. Listen to me. I really need this sword. If I whiff on getting this sword, I'm going to be so disappointed. Honestly, I will be so... I feel like I don't even want to ever play again. I don't ever want to...
Well, I guess I'll use it for you if it means that much.
Oh, you're so nice. I want to roll them 3 times to be able to try to acquire this longsword. So, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, gosh. 8, 9, 10. Wow, okay. Yeah, we cut that one close. Well, thank you. Well, I'm not going to be able to explore anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the long spear, put this long sword in its place, and I'll just discard the long spear. So I'll put that over here, and that will end my turn now. So, are you ready? Our regular blessing of the gods. Uh-oh. Oh no, and you got rid of your thieves' tools, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so you can still evade this, correct? Well, this is an ambush, and it says the check to defeat is a Wisdom, Perception, Dexterity, Acrobats 9. The difficulty to defeat the barrier is increased by the adventure deck number of the current scenario, if any. Well, that doesn't apply. If defeated, you may immediately explore again. Well, that's kind of cool. But if undefeated, examine the location deck until you find a monster and counter it, subtracting 1 from each die rolled in your check. Shuffling the remaining cards into the deck location. So, in a sense, is that really that big of a deal if you fail?
If I fail,
You're just going to bring a monster up out of the deck. There's only 1, possibly 2, if the villain's in there. And if that's the case, then you can just evade it. Am I right?
I'm just gonna find the monster in this deck. That's already in this deck. So.
It actually says encounter it, so I think you are mandatory that you must encounter it. But ain't that what you got the heavy crossbow for?
Interesting. Okay.
That's what it says. If undefeated, examine the location deck until you find a monster, encounter it. So it sounds like you may not evade that.
Wow, I mean, I really need some clarification on this, I think, because I don't see the difference. The skeleton horde said that I had to encounter a skeleton, and this says I have to encounter a monster, and for some reason, Tim's saying they're different, and I can't evade this one.
Chances.
Plus 2, so I only have to roll a 7.
Here's my point.
Or more with a d12.
Either you're gonna defeat this barrier, and that gives you the chance to immediately explore again, which the next card could already be a monster for all you know, or you're going to not defeat it. And I believe that this location deck finding
and I
monster
have a good weapon, so it's not like I'm really scared of monsters.
So does the barrier, does it go back into the deck if you? Because it says, if undefeated, examine the location deck until you find a monster, encounter it, subtracting 1 from each die rolled in your check. Shuffle the remaining cards into the location deck. So does this go away then if you don't, or does it stay there? I think that I think this would stay.
Monsters stay if they're undefeated.
I think the barrier would too.
Okay.
I still like your chances.
We'll see.
What are you rolling?
D12?
That's not a D12.
Oh.
There you
I was rolling a D10.
Yep.
I thought it looked weird.
So you just need at least a 7. And you got a 4. Okay.
Ah!
So you did fail. So let's see what happens
here.
All right. So. Okay.
Well, there you go. It was the very next card.
All right. So I guess we just shuffle these down here.
Yeah.
I guess the barrier stays. I don't know for a fact that that barrier stays. It does not say banish it, so I'm assuming it does.
All right.
Okay. So it says here that this is a Goblin Warrior. If undefeated, bury 1 random item or weapon from your discard pile. Now, once again, I'm going to go back and say this is not really that big of a deal because you would have explored it anyways. The only thing is that that berry is still in there.
An item or weapon in my discard pile. So.
If undefeated, bury 1. Yeah, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
But regardless, you don't want to lose to him. So, what are you going to do here?
I use my heavy crossbow.
You will. So the heavy crossbow is going to allow you to what?
I roll my dexterity die.
Which is a...
Plus a D10.
So a D12 and a D10.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, you need to get a 9. And wait a minute. Now keep in mind, you're Marisol and you are by yourself. Do you wish to try to add a little bit more?
Oh.
Because you can discard a card or recharge a card to add a D6, correct?
Hey, look. That's what the saber-toothed tiger does.
Saber-toothed tiger!
Recharge this card to add 1d6 to your combat check.
The reason I say that is because we know that there's only one monster in here, unless the villain's here. There's only one monster. So, you know, why not go ahead and just throw as much at this guy as you can so that you don't, you know, lose. Okay, well, he's more than beat up, so good job. You got him. And that'll end your turn, I'd assume?
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead and draw back up. Alright, so that's going to end this segment of this scenario. Yeah, I think we're doing pretty good. We still got 4 locations open, and that's a bit worrisome.
Yeah, we don't want to run out of time, but I'm pretty happy about the weapons we're acquiring.
Oh, yeah, I am thrilled about the weapons, because I just kept feeling like that, you know, at the end of the last scenario, even when we drew our items out of the box, we did not really get anything of any, you know, and I was like,
no.
But this is finally something cool.
I thought the point of a role-playing game was that we're going to be able to build up our character and, you know,
find cool stuff.
Upgrade our items, and that didn't happen last time, so I'm really glad that we got some weapons this time. Yeah,
and I'm looking forward to the next part. So, hey, we hope you guys enjoyed this, and definitely be looking for part 2 to be up soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.